Hello, welcome to Object Oriented Programming with Java. So, welcome back again, and very good morning to each and everyone. And so today we are going to learn about very much important things in the programming concept. So, yesterday, okay, let me quickly revise what we have learned in yesterday's session, and today we will learn about something extension to it. So, the first thing is what we have learned in yesterday's session is we have been learned about the first thing is a different kind of operators in Java programming is. Yes. So, you have been working on the Java programming. I hope you guys are doing a programming of Java, right, when I am doing some programming in my session. Yes or no? So, I hope you are doing well. So, I mean expecting more from you guys also, right. So, that is what we have done with a few operators in the last class, and the list of operators what we have finished is we have finished about the arithmetic operators, assignment operators, arithmetic assignment operators, unary operators, conditional or relational operators, as well as logical operators. We have seen a different operators in the yesterday and day before yesterday sessions, right. So, I hope you guys also doing good. So, I am expecting something more from you guys also. And today what we are going to learn, it is a very important thing we need to know is, in today's session we are going to learn about how do you read input from the particular user. For example, right, in yesterday's session or day before yesterday's session, the moment when I start with the programming, I usually write the code within my application itself. Nothing but whenever I want to write some data, I will directly write in my program only. And for example, I can't able to change the data, nothing but that value which is defined in my program, that would be a constant value. It can't be changed. It is not a random number. It is a constant number. So, whenever you are doing with that, okay. So, that kind of applications we have done today, and today what we are going to do is, instead of making the variable value within your program a constant value, we make that particular value as a random value. Alright. So, how do you read a random value from the particular user? You may get it out. For example, as people have an idea on the programming of C, you have an idea on the programming of C, then you have to know about the particular function in C, that is something called scanf. Yes, have you heard about it? Absolutely. Scanf is one of the function in stdio.h header file, which is used to read a group of characters or a stream of input from the command screen to your program is. Am I very clear? So, in a similar way, Java have a different varieties. There are different technologies we have, different methods we have, different classes we have. And today I am going to demonstrate you on one particular class which will be very useful in terminology about your Java programming is. Alright. So, now let me take you to that particular thing, and what we are going to do in this today's session is, let me talk about the few important things today. Yes. So, what is an objective of this session will be? Objective of this session will be, we talk about first scanner class. Alright. Scanner class, scanner, what is this scanner class? Scanner class is one of the important class in a util package. Yes. For example, you are being learned about lang.java.lang package, right? It is one of the basic package which required to accessing your system class out and a println method. Same way, whenever you want to go for writing the scanner class, or whenever you want to write any scanner class within your program, then you have to know about one more important thing, that is you need to import one more package into your class, that is system.util package. I mean to say Java. I am going to show you with a demonstration, you will understand pretty easily. So, that it required one more class or one more thing, call it as util. Yes, please remember that package name, java.util package. So, I am going to show you, demonstrate to you on that particular class after some particular minutes of time. Yes, and the second thing is what we are going to learn is a control flow statements. So, I am going to give you that introduction after the complete of scanner class. Alright. So, you guys have any idea on this scanner class? Yes, if you don't have an idea, don't worry. I'm going to give you our entire demonstration on the particular scanner class and what are the different methods we have and what is this importance of this classes. Yeah, I'm not telling you that there is only one methodology to read an input from a command screen to your program. I mean to say, to read input from the application to your program. It is not only one. We have a number of things to it. We have a number of methodologies, we have a number of ways to do it, but right now I am going to show you with one way, because whenever the requirement comes for the next time, so I'm trying to change that particular methodology, but by the time I'm trying to talk about a simple thing, which is basically we usually call it as the scanner class. Yes, now let me talk about what is this scanner classes. Yes, please remember, please say this. There are various ways to read input from a keyboard. Yes, and in which java.util package have a class name called scanner is one of them. Mean to say that, what I mean to say that here is, I have a number of methodology, I have a number of ways to read input from a keyboard to your program. Yes, means what? As a developer, as a programmer, as you, sometimes a user required to enter some input to your program. Sometimes user will enter the username, sometimes user will enter the password, sometimes user will enter the mobile number, sometimes user will enter something, right? Whenever user is entered some data from a keyboard, so that you have, as a developer, what you need to do is you need to read that input and you need to keep it in some place of your program. Whenever it comes with a requirement, you need to show that particular output is. Yes, that is the reason it we required one of the important one of the important class I'm talking about right now in today's session is a scanner class. Yes, right. So what is the scanner class? Where you find the scanner class? Please note it down, this particular package name, java.util package, and the class name is scanner class, right? Right, that's the reason I'm telling that it is one of them, nothing but we have a number of things in which it is only one. Yes, the Java scanner class breaks the input into a tokens using delimiter that will be white space by default, right? And it provides many methods to read and parse the various primitive types or values. What is the meaning of second point here is? The meaning of second point is Java scanner class will reads the input and the input will be reads in the format of tokens. Token in the sense a small bits, we can call it as tokens, and these tokens will be divided with a white space, nothing but a space character. So nothing but, for example, let me get back to the previous things. Whatever you know probably. For example, I'm writing a simple C program, alright. So I want to read a string which is of a spaces. Am I very clear what I'm trying to talk about? Let me take a simple example as a C program, where in C program I want to read a string in the sense a group of characters, and the group of characters has been written with some spaces. Yes. In that case, if I am using a scanf function, what will happen now? The scanf function, what will happen is, it is going to read a character before the white space. After the white space, the scanf function doesn't unable to read it. It's pretty simple demonstration I want to show you, right? So for example, let me show you with a simple example here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to write a simple C program here. All right. So let me say, all right. So I'm going to write a simple C program. So where in this simple C program, what I want to write here is, I want to read a string. Let me say a character, I'm defining a variable called name. So now what I'll do is, I'll write some name, printf, say asking a user to enter your name. So what will happen is, the moment when you write this particular statement, a user will enter the name, so that you can read that particular name with one more function called scanf, which reads you the value %s and you can say name, imagine, right? So then again you can print your name here, right? So I can say that printf, right? So I can say your name is right. So, then I can say name. Am I very clear on this? Alright. So, please if you are being well aware of the C program, then learning of this kind of class is pretty simple, right. So, that is the reason I always recommended to each and every candidate, if you are not have a proper basics, please everyone look after the C program once. Yes. So, what will happen now, imagine that my input first time test case 1, where I am giving a input as, for example, a string value as say APSSDC, right. So, what will happen in this particular thing, your program will read you that particular APSSDC, it prints you output what you have entered, yes. But if I am talking about, I will try that second test case. The test case 2, I want to enter a name in the sense, for example, I am going to enter my name, where I am trying to have a white space here, a space character. What will happen is, your scanf function will able to read the character with a space before the space character or before the white space character. This will be reads all these only 4 characters. Imagine that at test case 3, where I am writing APSSDC with this particular characters. What will happen now? Your program is able to read only 1 character, nothing but after the space there is no possibility to read next characters, right. So, in that way you can't able to read it. This is what a simple scanf function, because as you can see the scanf function which have a input function in C, right. Same way sometimes what we will do is, instead of scanf we will use a function name called getS, and we will replace the scanf function with getS function. What will happen now? Even though you can give a white spaces, then it will be able to read. Even you can give us white spaces here, it will be reads entire thing. Same way this scanner class is also do the same thing. Yes, hope you guys are clear on this example, right. Hope you guys are clear with this example. Yes, now what I am doing in this example is, I am trying to replace my scanf function with another function called getS. It is a function, is also one of the input function, where this will be reads input, even though if you give a white spaces also, if you give a white spaces here this is your white space, right. Even though if you give a white spaces, still your program is able to read your input. Same way your scanner function is also do the same thing. It will divide the input into number of tokens using a white space default, nothing but if you give a spaces here, it will be able to read. And every primitive data, it provides the many methods to read the inputs and parse into a different primitive values. What it mean to say that here is, for example, by default if you enter anything in the command prompt in Java, right, by default it is taking a string format, but sometimes I will enter integer also, sometime I will enter float also, sometime I will enter double also, sometime I will enter something say a single, sometime I will enter byte also, different data types I have, alright. So, these are the all primitive data types, right. So, whenever you want to convert this into our particular data type, so this one you can call it as typecasting. Please remember one of the important terminology, call it as typecasting. What it mean to say typecasting is converting one data type to another data type, then it call it as typecasting. So, what is mean to say the typecasting is, I have given an input in so and so format and I want to convert into another format. For example, if I am trying to give integer value, but your compiler is read, for example, I want to enter integer number as 20200, but how your compiler is taking in this format. See that this is an integer format, but this is not an integer format, this is a string format. Yes, something is enclosed within a double quotes, what we usually call it as? We usually call it as a string, right? Yes or no? Alright, perfect. So, that would be a string will be, this will be a string format, right. So, whenever you want to convert this string again into this format, instead of something double quote 200, if you want to convert into just 200, right, this is the way we usually call it as a typecasting, right. for the typecasting, your scanner method or scanner class will give number of methods which converts your inputs into different variations. Yes. Now, let us see here. So, that is what I will show you what are the methods we have here, then I will let you know how to use a one by one method. Alright. So, next one is Java scanner class extends, right. So, extends I will talk about in the next couple of days. Extends in sense something which has been already written, that comes under extends. Very important factor, one of the important object oriented concept called inheritance. This inheritance will tell you about what is the meaning of extending. Extending in the sense we have already have one class, we want to extend that class into another class, then we have a chances call it as extends keyword. So, nothing but already existing class properties we are making into another class, that is something call it as extends. A pretty simple example I will give you. So, nothing but I am talking about a son and a parent, a son and dad. What will happen is whatever the properties of dad will be inherited to the son also, right. For example, as dad have a 4 acres land or 10 crores money. Now, what will happen is that will be inherited to the next generation, right, his kid. So, then again that kid will be again extended to one more kid. So, that your extended properties are extended to one to another one, right. Same way your extends, nothing but this scanner class which extend the property of predefined class called it as object. Yes, please see here, if you just look after this one you will understand. Java scanner class extends the object class properties and implements the property call it as closable interfaces and iterator interfaces. Please write this in this point. In interview you may get a chance that where your scanner class is extended, where your scanner class is implements, right. Scanner class is extends from the class call it as object class and it is implements from closable interface as well as iterator interfaces, right. So, now give me some time to talk about what is the extends keyword, let me give some time what is the implements means, give me some time what is the interfaces. That would be as if you are practicing the examples of current example what we are generally daily discussing. If you are able to follow that example properly, the next level is object oriented programming concept, then you are supposed to understand what is exactly the meaning of implements, extends as well as interfaces. Alright. So, now let me look after this. Please write these 3 points, you may get a chances, you have a chances that you can get these questions in your interviews. Where is the scanner class? Nothing but I mean to say where is a package of scanner class, and then where is a scanner class will be used, and the third point is where is extends and where is implements. Yes. Alright. So, before I am talking about scanner class, let me give a simple example of your scanner class. Alright, without using a scanner class what will happen is, with using of scanner class what will happen is, I am writing an import keyword to import a particular package. So, what I want to import is, I want to import a package called java.lang.star, nothing but it is going to import all the particular packages classes along with us. This is I can call it as package, right, and followed by class. So, what is the class name you can give? Anything, alright. So, now I am giving a talk about input1 is my class name, right. Open the curly brace and close the curly brace, alright. So, now every class required one static method, that is a main method, right. So, now this main method will have something called it as string args as an input argument, alright. So, now what will happen is, for example, I want to define a variable called integer, say integer a. So, what will happen is I will define the value of a is equals to some 100, then I will try to print it. I will write it as system.out.println, I will try to print the value of a, that is something this one. Yes, right, simple program I am writing with a simple variable s, alright. So, I will try to save this particular program. Yes, we are choosing of D drive and here you have a programming of Java programming. Now, let me save this particular file name as say import input 1 dot extension of this program is .java. Alright. So, you can see all the files which is already we are creating from every day, that is something called input. Right now, the file name is, you can just see here, input 1 dot java. Save this particular program. As soon as if you save this program, go to command prompt, right. So, I hope you guys got the idea how to switch it to one folder to another folder, one drive to another drive, right. So, once if I want to move back, cd double dot, once again cd double dot, moving to drive d colon, followed by cd, followed by I can say Java programming. In this particular programming, in this particular folder I have all my files here. You can just see that list of the files, and right now what is your file you have created? You are creating a file name called input1.java, which is created 167 bytes of memory and which is created currently on 13/9/2017. Yes. Now let me clear the screen, which is used to CLS, used to clear the screen. And first thing is you need to compile the Java program. How to compile it? Java C followed by input1.java. This is particular file name which we need to compile it. Now just see that, you can just see that Java C is a command used to compile the Java program. Input1.java is one of the Java file where you want to compile it. Just hit on enter, right. It takes you a couple of seconds time to compile your program if you does not have an error. If you does not have an error, then automatically there are two more files will be generated. Let's again, you can see the directory. See that first we have only this file is previously we have only this file input1.java. Now you can, as soon as if you compile that particular program, what is the file you are getting here? Input1.class, nothing but this dot class file, we usually call it as a byte file or byte code, nothing but it is an intermediate code which will be generated in every Java program. Yes. So, nothing but if a dot class file is generated, nothing but your program is compiled successfully, right. Then again I write a Java followed by the file name is what? Input1, executed. So, what is the value it is printing? It is a value which is printing as 100. Alright. So, now what is the thing is, I want to print it again. Yes, I'll print it. So, what is the value again it will be prints? You can just see that again it prints the same value. Yes, again it will be print. But here just question yourself that is it this value changes any time? Value will not change, because unless or until a program is changes, unless or until as a programmer I have to go there and I have to change this program, right. Imagine that let us see again you can compile the program. Yes, you can change that particular program, right. So, let me mean to say that unless or until if you are not changing this particular value of this variable, it will not be changes, right. It will not be changes at any cost of the time. But what is the mean to say that? For example, as I am creating an application for a supermarket, right, as I am creating an application for supermarket, in supermarket I want to create one product price. Today price of this particular product is something say 15 rupees, right. But is it same for tomorrow? Maybe same or may not be same. Tomorrow maybe the product price, right, is increases to somewhere around 25 rupees. Then what will happen now? As a programmer you have to go to a client place, again you need to change it, right. Again the next day the product same product price, right, changes to somewhere around 9 rupees, same product is again changes. Now what will happen is, here in these three cases what we need to do is, as a developer every time you need to go to a client place and you need to change the particular product value, right. But is it possible any time? 100%, absolutely not. Instead of this, if we are giving a chance to the user, to enter his own product price, then automatically there is no need of you, nothing but automatically your computer will take care of everything. Yes, for that we usually use this particular scanner classes. Alright, understood the importance of scanner class now? Now, let me talk about what are the methods of scanner class now. Yes, the first method, please list out all these methods fast. The first method is a next method which returns you the variable value as a string, nothing but it is going to read a string format. See that it is returns the next token from a scanner class. And the second one is next line, nothing but it is going to read the next line. See that it moves the scanner position to the next line and returns the value as a string, nothing but it is going to read the next line and then it is going to read the string value. The second method, call it as next line, which returns you what? Again string format. The next one is next byte. Next byte is a method, is the same as a next token, but by default it will returns you what? Byte format, nothing but your program is required to have a byte format. Automatically your input will takes you in terminology of bytes. The next one is next short. Next short is a method which required to read the value in terms of a short value. Right. Yesterday I was given you a different data types and its sizes and how much memory it accepts, right. So, same way whenever you requirement have that, you need to use this. Alright. So, next one is next int. It is going to read the next tokens as into a integer value. The next one is next long. It is going to read the next value in terminology of long. If it is float, next float. If it is double, next double. Please, I recommended each and every candidate who is listening this class, please note it down all these important methods, because right now I am going to demonstrate you on these methods with a simple example, right. Please note it down everyone. If it is done, so we are going to go for a simple example to be returned with these examples. Am I very clear, guys? Please note it down. First method is next, next line, next byte, next short, next int, next long, next float, next double. And you just observe all the methods will be first character is smaller character, next word first character is in uppercase. Please do remember all those things. Yes? Have you written everyone? Alright. So, now what I need to do is I am going to write you a simple program, otherwise I will do one thing, right. I have this simple program, right. Within this program I am going to change you the different variables I am going to read now, right. To read the different variable from the scanner class, you need to import one more namespace here, one more package here. Say import followed by Java, followed by one more package name is util, util, and the class name is scanner, right. Guys, please see that you can also write a star here, but right now I am demonstrating you only one class, so that I want to utilize the memory for only one class. That is the reason I am writing only scanner class here. Yes, instead of this you can also write like this, right. Say import java dot util dot star. Now, what will happen is it is going to import all these particular classes which is presented in util package, but I do not want to waste the much memory for all the classes which is presented in util package. I want to waste the memory for only one class, whatever required in my particular example. Right now my example is for of scanner class. First thing is you need to do this, and the next thing is what you need to do is try to define a particular variables. Integer variable I am defining one float variable, say b. I am defining some double variable, say c. Alright. So, I am defining some boolean variable also, right. Say I am defining one string variable also, right. 4 different variables. So, this is type of integer, right, this is type of float variable, and this is a type of double variable, and this is a type of bool, means say either true or false. This is the type of string, I mean to say a group of characters. Hope you understand everyone. This is something I can call it as declaring the variables. I can declare a different variables in the different, but as I have, why I am defining in the sense, I do have a different methods in my particular class. So, I want to satisfy each and every method. So, I want to demonstrate each and every method here. That is the reason I am just going for declaring a different kind of variables here. First thing is, I will write a program system.out.println. Alright, before you write this particular, okay, first I will write this one, enter a integer value. Right, I am asking you to enter an integer value. Before you need to enter an integer value, right, so you need to have an object for scanner class. Please remember, this is how you need to create an object for scanner class, right, and the followed by the input is from system.in. Alright, so now let me need to talk about a same thing, call it as an object. We will give you, I am going to give you a brief introduction about objects in the next class, but simple as that, how do you create an object for a class, right. So, object in the sense, it is an instance of your class, right. How do you create an object, right. You have a separate lesson too about the classes and object, guys, do not worry, but by the time try to remember what is the object, how do you create an object for this particular class. So, you need to create an object, you can have first name, first thing is class name, right, class name, whatever the class, which class you want to create an object. So, this one is an object name can be any user defined name, you can give any name whatever you want, even you can give your name, that is okay. New is a keyword of Java, and followed by you can have a same name as a constructor name, which looks the same, that is what not a class name, that is constructor name. So, right now I am for you I am writing recommended to use only class name, but it is actually not class name, please remember this we basically call it as a constructor. Yes, if we have any parameters to this, we need to pass the parameters to it. Yes, now let me identify each and everything. Here this one is a class name. For example, in our example, what is the class name we are using now? What is the class name we are using? We are using the class name of, absolutely the class name is a scanner class. Does the scanner class directly access? No. Before you importing, before you access this class, if it is predefined class, you need to import a particular namespace or particular package. What is the package we need to have? We require a package name called this one. So, once you import this package into your class, you can able to write your class name, yes, 100%. And what is the second one? Object name, right. What is this object name here? The object name is anything your name is, this is your user defined name. You can write any name whatever you want, okay, that depends on your name. For example, I want to write an object name as some X, I can write the object name as my name, alright. I can write something A, I can also write, I mean whatever I want to write I can write here, because it is an object name, alright, it is a user defined name. Followed by there is a keyword called new, it is a keyword of Java. What is the purpose of this keyword? Because as I told you the previous sessions on keywords concept, right. So, what is this keyword will do? Keyword of Java new is used for allocating the memory for the object which is created in your application. So, what is object name you have created? You have created object name some X, some M or some A, whatever it is. For this you want to access this, it required the memory. So, the memory can be of with this particular keyword, right. What is the importance of this keyword? Used to not exactly I can call it as an access, give a memory or allocating the memory, you can also call it as allocate the memory for an object which is created in your application. All right. Right. The last one is not call it as a class name. Actually, this is something call it as a constructor name. Right. So, we gonna discuss about this. Please note down this point. Right. Please note down this point. We gonna discuss about these constructors in the next coming lessons. Yes. Right. If a constructor have a list of parameters, you can pass the list of parameters also. Alright, now very clear on this. This is how you basically use this particular methods as well as your constructors. Same way as in my program also, I am doing a simple class name called scanner class. Alright, so that scanner class I am creating an object because it is a predefined class. Whenever it is predefined class, you need to import a particular package into your class. Once your package is imported, then you can create an object for the class whatever you want. Right now, I want a class object for scanner, I am writing a scanner class. And from where I want to write? I want to write a system is a class name. In is one of the a static member of system class, nothing but whenever it is input from your program, input to your program. So, you may already seen one of the important thing, system.in, one more is system.out, nothing but system.in is one of the static member, in is a static member here also. This in member will read the input from keyboard, nothing but it just required to read the input from keyboard. For that we usually use this one, will print the output on the screen. Previously input and this one is output, nothing but I can say this one is used for input purpose and this is used for output purpose. Yes, all right. So, now let me show you that. So, right now I am asking you to enter a integer value, right. So, how do a user will enter here, enter the integer value in the sense where is the integer variable here, this one, right. Now, let me save that value into this particular variable, right. A is equals to, what is an object name, obj dot, what is the method we have? We have a method called nextInt, yes or no. Now, nothing but this nextInt method will parse or will convert that value into integer format and stores in the variable called int. Yes. Now, again I am going to show you the output for you, right. So, let me system.out.println, all right. So, your integer value is equals to what I need to assign to this, as need to assign the value as a. Now, all right. So, hope you understand this one. All right. So, now save this particular program, go to command prompt again, compile the program. Yes, compile successfully, execute this particular program, input 1, yes, asking me to enter what? An integer value I am entering as 100. See that integer value is printing as right now 100. Yes, got it everyone? See that this will reads you the value, stores in the location of variable A and printing that particular value as, again you can have a system here, right. So, this system.out.println will print you the value as 100 here. As am I very clear on this? All right. So, next thing is I am asking you to enter some float value, say system.out.println, after integer I am asking you to enter some float value, right, some float value you can enter here. So, now that float value also I want to read now. How do I read it? Object value. What is a variable to store the float here right now? This is a variable of float. Within this float variable I am going to show you that particular float variable. Object dot, what is the method we have? Next float is a method which is used to read the floating point values, right. So, hope you understand this. Yes. Alright. So, now you can just see that next float is a method which is used to read your float variable. Okay. So, now again after reading it, then again I am going to print here system dot out dot println. Alright. So, now what I want to show you here, I want to show you a float value, right. What variable called b. Alright. So, save this particular program, go to command prompt, right. Just compile your program. What is the compilation methodology? Javac followed by input1.java, right. Again execute this. First asking for integer value 100, then asking for float value 12.10 is a float value. See that it is going to read first integer value and after that it is going to read a float value with the help of which method right now? Next float method is, right. Now, let me go to one more thing. Say system dot out dot println, say asking you to enter float, enter double value, right. So, I am asking you to enter some double value right now. So, I just want to close it. Yes, all right. So, now let us just so that it will be in single line. It's wonderful. All right. So, now C is equals to what I want to read now, object dot next method name is what? Double. Okay, you are asking you to enter double value, right. So, where you need to store this double value? You need to store your double value in terminology of where? This particular thing. Where is it? This one. Clear? All right. So, now let me go to this particular thing again. In the next one more line you can take here, say system dot out dot println. All right. So, now I am asking you to enter some double value here, say double value, right. So, I want to say double values variable is C, right. Save this particular program, again you can just compile your program now, right. How do I compile it? Javac. All right. Now, let me execute this particular program, asking for integer value 100, asking for a float value, and this one double is also same, but by default every variable in Java take it as in double format and then float will comes, right. So, that would be the next one. And what is the next variable here? We need to read some boolean value in the sense asking you to enter some boolean value there, right. System dot out dot println, right. Enter some boolean value. Yes. How to read it? D is equals to object dot next boolean is a method which is used to read a boolean value, right. Right. Then I can write it as system dot out dot say println. All right. So, now I can say that say you can say boolean value is equals to, you can attach something say D. Save this particular program, again you can just compile your program now. All right. Execute the program, asking for integer 11, double 1210, 2122, asking for a boolean value say true. Say that your boolean value right now true, it is taking into a boolean value now. All right. So, what is the leftover right now? It is leftover with some string here, say system dot out dot println, asking you the user to enter username or your name. All right. So, I am asking you to enter. Okay. All right. So, now I am going to read this particular variable value, say E is equals to, I can say object dot method name is next, just the next. Okay. This will be reads your variable value of string, say system dot out dot println. Right. So, now asking you to your name is equals to, or your name I can directly print here, your name is equals to, I can say E here. Save this particular program and go to command prompt, compile the program, execute the program, asking for integer value 100, float value 1210, so 21.10 and boolean value is true and my name is APSSDC. See that it is not printing, so maybe okay, so here itself it's printing is okay. I am just putting this system.out.println before your boolean value, so that your print value will be here is nothing but you can see all the values here, right. Hope you guys understand with this example, right. So, how to read the input from a scanner class and what are the methods of scanner class. Okay. Hope you guys are clear on this. Unless or until if you are not practicing, it will make you very difficult to understand with this. Alright. So, I just want to stop the session for today right now. Okay. So, now let me alright, let me show you what we have learned in today's session is. Okay. So, we have learned about how to read input from a keyboard to your program of Java. Okay. For that we have a number of ways in which we have used a scanner class for this. Scanner is one of the base class or base methodology to read a input from a keyboard to your program is. Alright. So, hope you please practice each and every day the examples whatever I am demonstrating in my session. Thank you so much for listening to us. Have a great day. By the way, I am Anil Kumar, trainer of APSSDC.